That was all together, you dumb bastards. Anyway, this is the Two Shots podcast. We all chipped in and bought a dry erase board that measures about 12 by 8. So that was our budget for the week. We'd like to thank Devil Dave's for allowing us to mention them on the podcast. Devil Dave's Bloody Mary seasoning. It is an amazing Bloody Mary seasoning mix. And we're not drinking those right now because it's the afternoon and that's the morning drink. So, hey, David, how are you today?
You already have a corporate sponsor? That's
I have multiple
awesome,
corporate sponsors. I actually have we have Hog Holsters, which are the official holster of the Two Shots podcast, made with love and care by John Abbott in Arizona, and actually pretty damn badass holsters.
Very good.
He's really good. And then we also have Shotgun Trap Rental, Cyrus Alexander, and actually Ashley and Cy, because Ashley's more famous than Cy. And
that's true.
He said, Gary, will you mention this on the show? And I'm like, I don't know if that's really a good thing, but apparently he doesn't want to be busy. So he said, I need the time off. Please bring me up on the show. So anyway, we're sitting here in the studio with G-Dub. He is now our engineer. He is the Joe Rogan of news radio, sitting back there. He really don't have much of a neck though, so he is kind of a Joe Rogan-ish character. And our good friend, travel partner, shooter, and club benefactor, Aaron Romberg.
Energy up.
And this is the first time we are recording. We have a camera, and it's. Yeah, and it only took us 20 minutes to figure out how to actually turn the camera on. Anyway, so David, what have you been up to since the last time we talked to you?
Oh, not much. Just trying to do some end-of-year things and looking forward to next year and getting things set up for that. But this season's kind of winding down now. No more corporate events really to speak of, and no more NSCA stuff to speak of. So,
well, shit.
Just kind of getting on cruise control now, getting some chores knocked out.
Well, you lost purpose in life a long time ago, so that's probably not, really that big a shock to you, is it? Kind of been listless and floating through the world,
Yeah, just the lost ship at sea, man.
Well, shit, yeah.
Well, you know what happened to the
Titanic? Yeah, guy drew a fat chick on the couch in pencil. Anyway, G-Dub, what did you do today?
Shot wobble trap.
Shot Elise?
And Elise.
How was that?
It was fun. I like wobble trap better though.
What?
You like wobble trap better than Elise?
Mm-hmm. But I like pigeons better than wobble trap.
Oh my God! It's just already starting controversy here.
What are you teaching that boy up there?
Yeah, that was a big one for me. I think that was a revelation, But no, man, that's about all I can tell you. No, we just been working on the Aaron Romberg Memorial Elise ring.
It's not a memorial. Come on, it's not a memorial.
Oh, shit.
It's for kids that don't think good.
Anyway, yeah, it's foundation for children and kids who don't think well. But anyway, yeah, we got an auto Elise ring coming into the farm. Just why not, right? I don't know.
How much? Let me ask you about Elise, because I've had a lot of people asking me, and it's pretty popular in Dallas. What's your expected return on that?
Define return.
Yeah, that's the answer I thought I was going to
Is that when the money comes back to the club, or is that just people showing back up the second time they shoot it? How do you define return?
At what point do you quit griping about how much money you spent on it?
Year 2 of owning a gun club.
Yeah.
Dave, I kind of did this just so I can keep shooting Elise a little more. I don't really expect any return on it, but
flexing on the pores.
Hey, those that put it in there, I think would do very well with it.
Yeah, I mean, if we had obviously if we were in any other state besides the Midwest, yeah, it'd work pretty good because now we've got 2 Elise rings, 2 pigeon rings, so on and so forth. With
most clubs that I've been to that have a Elise ring have one because they wanted one.
Yeah.
Not because they expected it to really do much, but
Yeah,
The only ones I know of that probably have a return are Dallas Gun Club, because they do quite a few events a year, and maybe even West Side down in Houston. They do quite a bit down there. So
well, I mean, always one of our limiting factors on doing a lot more Halish was just getting the kids. I mean, you're already tired. You got guys that are shooting. We use the kids to pull VTAS.
yeah,
When we first started, we'd shut everything off on a Sunday at 1 o'clock and start shooting Halish, but then people bitch because they couldn't shoot VTASC, so we just kind of got out of the habit of that. But
yeah.
it's just kind of
I love police. I love it. I mean,
well, we got a little group of guys that like to shoot box birds, and actually we've all started shooting more wobble just because it's fast, it's fun. You can crank out 50 rounds and be back to have a cocktail. I mean, we got a little social shooters club. It's called the FLC Rum Dumpsters. That's our social club. Yeah.
Not to be confused with trash dumpsters.
but anyway, no, we've got poor G-Dub along. He's running our engineer. We're going to play our Sweet 16 game. Kind of wrap it up this evening. But, once again, we got some stuff we need to touch upon. We'll try to keep this halfway brief. I mean, I know you've been working on your manifesto for a while, but I mean,
it's getting longer every day, man.
I mean, what?
It's like a diary. Every day I'm just adding to the manifesto.
Dearest
man.
diary, I hate them so much. Sometimes I sit in the clubhouse and wonder ways. I pretend I'm a giant dinosaur stepping on them.
Welcome to Club Tokyo.
What was some of the so let's go real quick on the first part of this shit. What was some of the shit? Let's not worry about the negatives. We have enough of that in our lives. What was some of the positives you heard from this last podcast that you and I did together?
I think some of the guys I heard from liked the topics that we touched. I think it was a negative and a positive at the same time. They're like, I'm glad you talked about this, but you need to talk about it more.
What were some of those things they want to hit on more?
I mean, really, I think the big thing that I heard was NSCA stuff.
That's what I heard.
A lot of guys were kind of interested more in some of the details of NSCA and the goings on.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Yeah, I got that. I got a couple. Couple guys like, hey, you guys need to get in the NSCA, what the NSCA actually does for the club owners and shit like that. I was like, all right, fine, fuck that, we'll do that. And then, like I said, I want to talk a little bit more about there's been some issues here recently with some just cheating and whatnot. Yeah. And we need to talk about that. And the only thing you screwed up on is you didn't acknowledge Steve Schultz in the first one, and I think you hurt Granny's feelings. So
that's true. That's true. I did mention Target Line.
Yeah, okay, you did briefly, but it wasn't really in a positive light. But let's mention Steve Schultz now.
I'll say that I guess what I didn't really bring up, in the inception of Falsa Point, that
it cropped out on accident, and it.
You're okay. Just roll.
The engineer already messed up.
Yeah, just wait, Gary. Just don't touch it. Just let
it already cropped out. It had a picture of just you. That was it.
Okay, did you fix it?
Yes. It's
okay. We're just going to keep going, G-Dub.
Okay.
You're fine. It doesn't matter. David's got his thought going. It's fine. This is the beautiful part of live TV.
Restart then.
We're not going to restart. We just have good material. We can just put a marker right here. Let's put a mark.
Do that.
There's a mark, okay? And we can edit the video.
Okay.
We can insert a commercial. We'll make commercials.
Okay. You're doing a great job, G-Dub. Don't listen to
Come down to Honest G-Dub's car lot. We've got used Promatics. We've got new Promatics.
We got Chevys,
Ford, Chevys, Dodges. We got single columns, double columns, quadruple columns, 8-column traps. This little trap here was shot by a little old lady. She just only shot it on weekends. Is that what he wanted?
I don't care.
Your face is red, son. Anyway, we're okay. But yeah, so let's get back to Steve Schultz. I mean, Jesus, you just really walked all over Steve Schultz there. What did he ever do to you?
Huh?
Oh my goodness.
God, we were talking about Steve Schultz, which was it was David's mentor. And then you just trampled on the guy. The guy gets no respect. We were giving him homage to him.
Man.
You're on live, so you really can't you cannot mouth fuck him. The camera got that. Anyway, so enough of that. Steve, you got mentioned. Okay. Let's go. So let's just dive into what is your take. Like I said, we've talked about the NSCA. We do our famous bullshit of what have they done good, what have they done bad, and they have built the game. They put a lot of time. They did. They built an annuity for themselves. It's a business. It's their business. It's our business too, but it is their business. Without them, we probably wouldn't have had Sporting Clays. I don't know. I don't have a fucking crystal ball. The previous organization before them was not being run well. They had deeper pockets and made the game what it is now. But what is your take of the current situation of what it does for the clubs?
All the burden of growth for an NSCA is put on the clubs. It's the club's responsibilities to get new members. It's the club's responsibility to host the shoots. It's the club's responsibility to collect the money and send it to NSCA. It's the club's responsibility to, a good hot topic recently is to catch the cheaters. It's the club's responsibility to, do all the legwork for NSCA. And I don't really get much else out of it other than things I mentioned before, that once a month I'll get 100 guys, 120 guys come out to the club and shoot for a few hours, Well,
but
that's I don't. Good point. 80% of those guys I don't see again until the next month. So that's the only real benefit I get from NSCA is just that, I get to host a sanctioned event.
Well, you get to collect their money, you get to collect their membership dues. You run it through their credit card. If you take the credit card fees out, then they ask you, "Hey, where's my $1.85?"
Which has happened. I'm collecting their fees, $40 a pop. The guys are running it on their credit card. Well, I'll take out the 3% credit card fee that I'm going to have to pay, but I get letters from NSCA saying, "No, you got to pay us the $40." Well, why do I need to do that? I'm doing it for you. I'm not doing it for me.
That is a solid point. It's just kind of like.
And so, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. That maybe it shows you how desperate they are for that $1.85 or whatever it is.
Well, that's a solid point. It's kind of like, the first couple years that you have an NSCA shoot, you're using your NSCA shoots to get your name out there. People come, people see what you got, and then you hope that you retain a percentage of those guys that shoot your monthly shoots, which is really not that high. And then you're hoping, and after that, you start trying to, you'll all do your first state shoot, you'll all do your bigger shoot, and you've done a regional, and that kind of horse shit. And you start realizing that honestly, this is supposed to be a business and there's P&Ls and all that kind of shit you flush out, the profit for the effort, you may make money, but is the profit worth the effort as far as doing these bigger regionals and stuff like that?
That's the big question. And in a lot of ways, I think it's kind of like what I just mentioned with the Halise, that you do it because you want to. I think a lot of these clubs that host a regional do it for, one, I think the recognition. That's why I did it originally. I wanted to put my name out there as one of the big clubs. But you do it for the recognition. You do it because you love the sport. You do it because you think you're benefiting the game.
Yeah, and that's and then after a while you have to make a living and pay for all those improvements. But
right,
we did the Illinois State shoot a couple times, and you sit down on you're putting on your spreadsheets of what was spent and the effort and all the stupid events you're supposed to put in, and now we got to do sub-gauge, fee task, trans class or whatever the hell it is. And you're just realizing that I'm spending money breaking even. Oh, I'll break even on this, but maybe we'll get 3 extra shooters in. But then what's really funny is every shoot will have 200, say a shoot has 200 entries. Of that 200 entries, only 170 guys shoot the main event. Well, where were those other 30 guys? Well, they came and shot the bullshit events that weren't making any money to begin with, and they fucked off, and then they didn't spend any money with you. Why this is a hobby, some of them choose to make it a living, and they try to, obviously the make-believe punches and shit like that, whatever. It is a business to you. because you have to make, those airplanes don't pay for themselves, David. And
I know. Tell me about it.
I mean, hell, I had to pay $1,000 on your deer hunt last week because you were just that short. Poor guy.
That's right. I own a gun club. I write hot checks and, and make empty promises. No, but I think a lot of clubs have, that do the first state shoot or do their first regional, do an analysis at the end of it, and they go, "Holy cow! Like, we didn't make much money, or we didn't make the money that we thought we did, or what we were told we would make, or anything like that." There's so many little expenses that aren't accounted for when you're doing your initial budgets and your initial thoughts. And
or you're like, Jiffy Lube was hiring the first part of this year. I should have got that job and put that $20,000 in my pocket because that would have been a lot less stressful. But we'll circle back to this, and we'll circle back to a couple other things of going to the club, because I got to mention somebody here pretty quick, but let's get back to something a little bit more important. And it is kind of a bitch too. And G-Dub actually brought this up. We brought it up to the kids. So the episode that's going to air in December, I had Liam and G-Dub in it. And this is, we gave a perspective from two shooters who are beginning in the game, and we asked them pretty much basic questions. Of course, obviously cheating comes up with it.
By the time they're watching this, it would have already aired, though.
Yeah, by the time it already aired, but I'm just giving a reference so they can look back. But you are right. And one of the things we talked about was cheating, right, G-Dub? Mm-hmm. And you guys, coming in from a standpoint of beginners, you didn't understand why anybody would cheat, right?
Yeah.
It's just stupid. And then we got Romberg here, who cheats all the time. But but anyway, just on your taxes. Anyway, but you deal with it. It's a hobby. It's a getaway from the bullshit of the office for you. Absolutely. And then going on the cheating. And here's my biggest gripe, as far as if I have a gripe with the NSCA. If you have these fucking rules and you have this wanting to make this game a professional game, et cetera, and it's supposed to be a whatever, then do something about the cheating. Quit letting them off with a non-disclosure. Quit letting them off with a slap on the wrist. Quit wilting at every character defamation lawsuit that I'm going to sue you because you're costing me my income or some shit like that. All right, you got money, you're paying legal, at least fight for the integrity of the game. I mean, some of these guys come in, well, you're costing me money of my income. All right, well, let me see your last 3 years' taxes, and I'll write you a check for what it's going to cost you. Well, I didn't file for the last 3 years. I mean, I don't know what lawyer they have, but is it in the strip mall out there behind Bill Miller?
Did we cheat him and how?
Oh, what was it, Lionel Hutz? Is Lionel Hutz from The Simpsons? But I mean, you've actually busted some people. You've showed your fucking balls a couple times and kicked out a few guys, and so on and so forth. But give me your opinion on this cheating horse shit. Do we ban porta potties, or do we ask the NSCA to step up?
I think you got to ask the NSCA to step up. Because a lot of times, I've had it before where shooters will come to me and go, "Oh, you got to watch so-and-so. This guy's always messing around on the course. You got to, keep an eye on this guy or that guy or whatever." And, and I will. I'll go and watch somebody shoot a station. I'll record down the score that I see them shoot, and maybe do that for three or four stations. And then I compare what I wrote down to what their scorecard was turned in. And, a lot of times that's how you catch them. And there's a lot of times when people would say, "Oh, you got to watch so-and-so, and his card's clean, and I didn't have any issues with it," and you move on. But, for one, you have to catch them at the shoots. I mean, it has to be legit cheating that you observe and witness, and that's how you catch them. You can't just catch them because somebody said that they cheat.
Oh yeah, you can't do that. We've done the same thing. You follow the two knuckleheads around, and you're yeah.
But like when it happens, and the club then comes and says, "Hey, here's the evidence I got, and here's my statement, and there it is. I think the NSCA needs to back that up and take good action and quick action on those shooters. They try to get both sides, which I understand. You want to get statements from everybody, but at the end of the day, it's like, okay, well, you're going to give them a slap on the wrist, and I'm going to see them again in a few months at my shoot again. Well, that's just causing problems for me, because all those other shooters are still looking and go, well, so-and-so got busted for cheating, and here they are at this shoot again, and I'm going to have to shoot against them. Well, that's not fair for me as the club to have to try to address that again after I've already done it.
Well, yeah, and I've kind of been privy to a couple of the cases where somebody was like, oh yeah, I cheated, and it's like, and like I said, I'm obviously not getting into names and stuff like that, but I know some cases throughout the United States where they came to that guy and like, listen, fucker, did you cheat? Oh yeah, I cheated. Or they guys admit, well, then they kick them out, and they're kicked out for a period of time. Their NSCA shit's suspended.
Yeah.
But it seems like when somebody pushes back, and rattles an attorney, they just wilt. And it's been a few bigger cases.
Yeah.
Where they got the guy dead to rights. I mean, you just don't wake up of a morning and roll into a shoot. And this is a good lesson for you, G-Dub, is like your reputation will follow you around. All right. If you're an honest person, so on and so forth, and you play the game like a gentleman, you will be respected as a gentleman. But often, like David just said, you got to watch this motherfucker. Okay. I'm sure we've just lost because I'm cussing in front of my son. Holy shit! I'm also drinking in front of him too.
We also took G-Dub to Vegas. So.
We also took a 10-year-old to Vegas.
Get some emails on this.
I hope we do, because I don't really give a fuck, and I like saving emails. In fact, I think we need to start having a segment of this show as Gary Fitzgerald's hate mail of the week, or we ought to do the hate mail of the week section, and we also we should probably do stupid internet comment of the week.
Ooh.
That would be a good one.
Oh, that'd be a good one.
Because I've got a couple we'll talk about here in a little bit.
No, we have a camera, so we can show the stuff.
Dude, yeah, we can get like a monitor and do the shit. Dubs. That's why we brought Dub in on this shit.
He's your official engineer now, for sure.
He is the official engineer. You like this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But anyway, going back to this bullshit. If you're an honest person, you got integrity, you got your words good, you're going to be fine. Okay? But like we're saying, you don't automatically say, all right, Joe Blow over here is a cheater. Because you know who the cheaters are. And they've done ruin their reputation, but most people won't get into conflict. Because, you don't have,
So I want to ask Aaron. Aaron, when you're on the course and you see a guy shoot an extra pair at a station, or you see them miss 5 targets and the scorecard shows they only missed 2, what are your feelings on that, and what is it you do about it on the course?
That's a tough call, because I've never run into that, to be honest with you.
Okay.
If I did see it, I would go to course management and make a comment about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I just think that's the right thing to do. It's not fair to everybody else.
Yeah.
And I've been shooting NSCA since 2014, and I have never come across it. And just recently, I've heard more about this going on.
It happens. Happens more than you think it does. David, do you think they're cheating to win? I think we probably maybe we said this last time, but what do you see? I don't see guys really cheating to win. I see cheating to save face. What do you think?
It's hard to tell, because there's guys, some of the cheaters that have been caught have been really good shooters. They're capable of shooting really good scores. So it's like, your question is, well, why would you even do this? Why would you put yourself in this position where you're bound to get caught eventually, And I think a lot of that's just ego. I think a lot of that is what you kind of mentioned. That's their livelihood. This is the only skill they got, and they rely on shooting and lessons and everything else to make their money, and it's important for them to show wins. I think some guys just do it because that's who they are, and when they get caught, they kind of just disappear. You don't ever see them again,
Yeah.
And they just move on to some other sport where they go do the same thing.
Yeah.
So
I mean, there
I
is.
think it's kind of mixed.
There is that. I mean, you do have the guys who are damn good shots. You know, some of them are fucking, great shots, world champions and stuff like that. But I also think getting on the psychology of it is there's some guys that just like they can't lose. Like that's
Right.
what is in their thing. They need that. If they don't win, they're not going to feel like a good person when they go home. It's bullshit. And then Romberg, you've been in the horse industry. You know, we were in the bird dog. There's people cheat and they just cheat, and you're just like, and then you're like, what the fuck, man? You know, you ruin your reputation. You know,
The worst kind, and it's happened several times here in Texas that I know of, when it's a father or a grandfather cheating for the kid.
it just happened.
Well,
It just happened 2 weeks ago.
yeah, it just happened. You know, and so it becomes a family affair that everybody's involved, and it's like, you know, you're setting, for one, a bad example. You're setting that person up for failure in the future, and it's just bad all around. You know, it's not just the one person in the porta potty fixing their own score. It's a conspiracy at that point. You know, that they're conspiring to do it, and everyone's involved.
Yeah,
that's the worst part of it. That's the worst kind of cheating that I see.
and I've seen the recent deal. And we can't say the names. Like I said, a straw man argument. That's what my haters do on Shotgun World, but we really don't want to because I want to fuck this up for a couple people. But it seems like there's different enclaves of the cheaters. I mean, there's a lot of people who pick this game up due to like an SCTP type of junior shit. I don't think they realize like it's maybe not that big a deal for them to cheat. You know, they're like, well, what's the big deal? You know, whoop-de-doo. I gave little fucking Herkimer 5 extra targets, you know, big fucking deal.
Right.
Well, you know, you're trying to teach your little bastard something.
I mean, that's the same as a participation award as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. Just,
Well,
here's your trophy,
you know,
asshole.
I mean, how I try to train whenever we have trappers, like for our shoots and our big shoots, you know, I try to train them to just say, hey, you know, you're keeping score for these people, and all you're doing, you're just recording what you see. Like, don't feel bad for them if they're shooting a bad score. You know, don't give them, you know, favors if they're shooting a really good score. I was like, it is what it is. It's a hit or a miss, and you're just recording. But you know, I've seen it before where, you know, a kid or someone is shooting really bad. They're down in the 40s or 50s, and, you know, giving them that target that you know, that was a no bird, but they hit it, you know, and you're counting it as a hit, you know, giving them that kind of target. Technically, that's against the rules, but it's like, whatever, you know, like it's not going to change anything. It's not going to matter. We're having fun. Like, we're going to count the target. You're going to get a 53 instead of a 52, you know, but at the same time, like that's not correct, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you got to play it like it lies, man. You know, I mean, it just gradual increments. You know, it started with that, you know, and then it's this, and then it's this, and then you're giving the kids pairs over, or, you know,
Yeah.
there was something that happened recently in nationals. I haven't shot nationals since 18, so this is going my third year of not participating down there. And we're going back to, you know, and however you feel about the situation, this shooter got busted, got disqualified, I guess, because I guess they were begging targets, and everybody got upset about it. You know, like, oh my God, do this, do this, do this. My biggest complaint going back to the NSCA is, why'd you choose that moment to go after target beggars? You have shot. How long have you shot, David?
I've shot for over 20 years.
Yeah, I'm sitting like a 1991, 1990, 91 NSCA number, and target begging has been a thing forever.
Oh yeah.
And now we decide to go after it. This is the instance we decided to go after it. I call it bullshit. You know, whether it was, you know, obviously it was wrong, but why did we choose this moment? You know, there should be some parity.
No, but I think it's still important that you're upholding the rules at the biggest shoot of the year.
Fucking right,
you know?
I do. I agree. I think that it should have been all the other times people have bagged targets at that big shoot. And you know good and well, as I do, not to get off on a tangent here, it happens a lot at big shoots by some big that's people that can shoot. And we choose today to do it?
By people who are highly involved in NSCA as well.
Fucking right it does.
Trapper intimidation is one of those things that's kind of hard to recognize, kind of hard to discipline too,
Oh yeah, I mean we chose to do this one on her.
Happens.
We chose, whether right or wrong, I'm not getting into what happened. I'm not getting who it was. I'm not getting any part of that one. And if it was true, then I agree 100% with the thing. But it's time, if you're going to choose that, then there should be going back to what we said originally with the one I did Justin Barker not too long ago, with the course marshals that are monitoring the fields, that are watching for this shit. If you really give a fuck and really want to take care of this stuff, then there you go. Then we should do this, and you should set it up where we have professionals who are trained that are monitoring the courses, watching for this type of shit. Romberg, what do you think about that?
No, I like the idea of the range marshal. I think that's ideal. Last few podcasts I listened to, about the envelope, and don't open it up till you get to the next station.
Passing that on into the parents with the cheating with the kids. It's also showing the kids bad examples of what to cheat, and when they grow up, they're gonna start cheating because they think it's all right to cheat because their parents are showing them.
You're exactly right.
Absolutely.
To cheat.
It's a life lesson there. It's like golf, man. I mean, golf's been around for a billion years, and it's a game where you can call a foul on your own self, and there's a certain amount of beauty of that honor system, and it's kind of like the further we, what are you teaching your kid? You want your kid another freaking SCTP medal that he can hang on the end of his fucking shotgun, or would you rather have your kid not be a piece of shit and have some honor? I don't know. Well,
this kind of goes back to what I was saying before, where the burden is put on the club, and I get that because there's 600 and something clubs, in the NSCA membership, and NSCA can't be at every club for every monthly weekend shoot or even some of the bigger shoots, and so the burden's put on the club to catch the cheating, to stop the cheating, to deal with it, but the club that's getting 40 shooters a month doesn't want to rock the boat, doesn't want to rock the boat and alienate guys or create problems or controversy, by calling out a cheater or, accusing someone of cheating that maybe isn't a cheater. And now all of a sudden you got, 10 guys that won't come back. But I think within the NSCA and even at the club level, I mean, we got to grow some balls and deal with it and tell people, I'm sorry, you're not coming back here, or I'm reporting this to NSCA or whatever, and if you take action.
I agree 100%. Dave.
If you had somebody backing you up, that's the thing, back us up. Obviously, if you know that it's just going to be a big stink and that, once they buffalo the NSCA and they don't back them up, and then they're going to knock your club because you caught them. They're pissed off at your club. They're going to knock you down. I mean, back us up, man.
I've had two formal complaints of cheating, and I think both cases were in fact cheating, and the NSCA, like in one case, when Moyes was there, backed me 100%, no issues. It's like, give me your statement, write it down. We're taking action, and they did. I felt like whatever action they took was appropriate, and I was happy with that. The other, in the other case, it was a big shoot and high profile, and it really changed the final results. But I still, at the same time, it was cheating. It was manipulation of the scorecards, and it seemed like in that case, NSCA was still like a little bit reluctant to take that kind of action, even though there was a lot of support from behind my club to validate that. The NSCA still was reluctant at the high level to say, all right, we're taking action. We're taking, swift action. We're taking just action. It was kind of like, hey, let's sit down and talk about this. And did this really happen? And tell me your statement again, and that kind of stuff. It was like, hey, like if you're counting on me to do all the work for you, you need to back me up.
Well, yeah. I mean, at that point, you're just a record-keeping organization. If that's really how you feel, all right, I'll send you my 4 cents a target, and we'll just call it at that. And guys, write down the score you want. It's kind of like when these guys bitch about our targets when we set a little rough for them. Like, you know what? Fuck it. Just write the score down you want if that makes you feel good. The taco bar's in the other room. Have a nice day. I'll get you home by 1 o'clock so you can watch premium cable with your wife. So, all right,
I mean, that's the double-edged. That's the catch-22 that we're in. Is that on one hand, like as the club owner, especially you and I, since we're shooters and we're competitors, like we want this to be legit. We want this to be competitive. We want to have good targets and everyone out there battling for their score. But on the other hand, it's like, you can kind of see through some of this stuff. You're like, this kind of a joke, on one level.
Well,
it's like, it's right down to score you one. Fuck it, and I'm going to send your report in, and doesn't matter.
And it's always an evolving field of people. I mean, and like I said, well, I'm glad Romberg's here and stuff like that for this one. But what we're talking about is like the NSCA and retention of membership, retention of shooters and stuff like that. And everybody goes through their stages of grief. I mean, stages of shooting. It's all new. It's all exciting. I got me a gun. I got me a new Ranger. I got me some Pilas. Oh my God, I'm going to go through the classes and it's a deer, Romberg. Easy there, Romberg.
Weird looking cow.
It's a weird looking cow out there anyway. So you like the LSD. But anyway, and the retention of the members and the guys that are looking for something that's not there normally quit. And we're going to go to a segue on this one, but I mean, Aaron, you're in AA now.
I believe so.
And I'm your sponsor, and you've got your what? 2-year chip now?
I'm on my 2-year chip.
All right. Anyway, well, that was an Alcoholics Anonymous joke, G-Dub.
Hey, what are y'all drinking up there?
We are drinking a very fine Macallan called the Harmony Collection, inspired by rich cacao. Cacao? Cacao? Cacao.
Yeah.
Cacao? It has hints of chocolate. So very nice. I'd like to thank our liquor sponsor, Brandon Leifer of Weir Automotive in beautiful Red Bud, Illinois. See, I'm looking at the camera now. This is called product placement. This is how you do it, David. Anyway, if you want your Ford, Chevy, Dodge needs, he'll meet your needs. If you have if you have needs that aren't being met by other dealers, Brandon Leifer in Red Bud, Illinois, will be there to take care of you.
He will take care of you.
He will take care of you. Anyway. Oh my God. Anyway, you're just shaking your head at me, kid. That's how your mother used to do it. Just shake, just sit there and hi-oh. But anyway, so going back, where the fuck were we? Okay, in we go. So we're talking about the natural stages of grief, and Aaron's sitting here in AA, and you went to a lot of sporting clay shoots, and thought it was a thing for a while, didn't you?
Absolutely. I wanted to be the top of the podium. I wanted to be the top-notch guy. And I realized what it took to...
Microphone, Aaron. You speak to the microphone.
Sorry, I thought I was projecting my voice. No, I wanted to be a top shooter, and after getting into this and doing it some more, realized what it would take, and realized that my job was the one that afforded me to do this. And in order to go be that top shooter, I couldn't work a full-time job, but afforded me to do it and be that top shooter. So now I just enjoy shooting and better myself as I go and do it.
And yeah, that's right. And then, like I said, you came in. What did you before you got into this bullshit?
I was into horses. I showed Appaloosas.
G-Dub just laughed at that one.
Get your mind out of the gutter, bro. What's wrong with you? wasn't Debbie Does Dallas, but no, I did. I showed horses, traveled all over, and then I got into rodeo and teamed rope and tie down rope, and kind of got out of that when I went back to work for my father and didn't have time to train and keep horses going. And then picked up a shotgun and just started shooting.
Yeah, just like, and we've talked about this a lot. Of course, we came from the background that you had. I mean, there's always a guy that is willing to flush away everything for this shit.
I've seen it happen.
Any hobby. It's crazy. It's crazy. But it's been kind of cool. You get club members like Aaron, and I don't know, you got a few guys you like, David. It's your club.
Yeah, I got a few.
You few, Hubbard. Bobby. But there's guys that that do appreciate what you're trying to do at your club and stuff like that, and it's a good hobby. They like to go out, bullshit, stuff like that, and that's one reason we did the Halise ring. Is it's a little bit more social, and we can eat, have a good time, and hang out. But like I said, you guys, have you ever had any? Have you lost any club members, like guys you really thought a lot of, that was a really good support of your club, David?
Yeah, I'd say so. There was a time actually this year, back in February, we set a course for one of our NSCA shoots. It was I don't mind setting a hard course in February. A lot of guys are like, oh, I got to set easy targets in February, March, April, and then I get harder targets later in the year. I was like, I don't mind setting a harder course, early. There's nothing wrong with that. But we set some stations that were, not. It was pushing the limits of what was good.
Breakable and fun.
Was that
breakable and fun, right?
Yeah, breakable and fun. It's kind of pushing the limits of what was breakable, right? And one of the stations, the menu got flipped from report to true, and as a true pair, it was a bitch of a station, and it was bored. It was not fair. It was not a fair station, right? And I'll admit that. And one of my really good shooters, a guy I've known for a long time that I have a lot of respect for, I met him in the parking lot. I was like, oh, you're already done with the course. I was like, how'd you like the white course? He goes, fuck this shit, I'm done. I'm out of here, And I was like, oh, I thought he was joking at first, but he was for real. He packed his shit and he left, Oh,
I know that guy. And, it was a lot of pent-up frustration with your bullshit for years, David. That was just a straw that broke the camel back.
Right. No, whatever.
Yeah, he said that was coming a long way.
No, but he was a guy though that has been in the Texas sporting clays for a long time. He shot every club in Texas. He shot every club in the West. He goes to New Mexico, Arizona all the time. He supports sporting clays. He's the kind of shooter you want at your club, and it really kind of stung me. That here I am. I pissed off one of the old guys, one of the good guys. I fucked up a course. I fucked up some stations, and so it is what it is, and he was upset. He was upset for a while. I think he's over it now, and we're still friends. We still have respect for each other.
He told me last week you're a cocksucker, but anyway.
Right.
But anyway, I get what you're saying. You try your best.
I've lost shooters in that way. I've kind of lost some shooters in that way. We do set harder targets. I've had some of the Dallas crowd. I say not Dallas Gun Club, but I've had some of the Dallas crowd come out, and it's not what they're normally used to down at some other clubs, and any type of crosser you shoot, they freak out because they think sporting clays is like trap, and so
quarter angle.
They come out and they shoot their career low, and they get upset and they leave, and you don't see them.
I know what you mean. There's guys that you want to make happy. There's guys that you trust, that you respect, and stuff like that. And there's the fringe of guys who's always got that attitude of, I didn't shoot my score. And this sounds horrible, but there's guys that spend money at your club, and there's guys that don't. And there's guys that, like you said, you see them one time a month. While you would like to, obviously, this comes down to business, you would like to have their revenue stream, but once again, are they an integral part of your club? I mean, it sounds horrible, it sounds as car, but this is business. Business is cold. Business is, black and white. Anybody that describes a Milton, I mean, if you're a student of Milton Friedman, the way he looks at economics is a hard thing. You take care of what makes your club money. Even though it's entertainment, you have to take care of the people that we lost a shooter this year. Probably one of the, if everybody could have this man's attitude and his positivity, I mean, his funeral was absolutely, we had to go to Texas because we were down there deer hunting. We went in there early. They said the funeral didn't get over till probably 5 o'clock, from 9 o'clock to 5 o'clock. And I have a feeling, because I got to know Ed from the gun club, he probably shot here 3 or 4 times a week. Some days I think he shot every day. But you can just see what type of person he was by the people that paid him respects at the last. And I really hated to lose Ed, because he, no matter how hard you got kicked, Ed would tell you the truth. And his attitude was, always would walk in there, targets are great, keep doing what you're doing, keep challenging all of us. He goes, the reason I shoot your place is because I want to be challenged. And that was the greatest thing about Ed. And I'd be like, well, Ed, there's a few people. And like I said, this gets out there to the people who listen to this one and the people that bitch about our place. I say, Ed, I said, I know a lot of people didn't like the targets. And he said, fuck them. And he said, and this was his favorite thing, he said, fuck them. Keep doing what you're doing. And if people can be like that, that's what makes you want to keep having a club, is guys that are positive, guys that are encouraging. And, that's why you keep trying to do it. And it'd be like, you'd be like, hey, Ed, there's some target. I said, well, what was, there was a few stations that were dead, whatever. He'd actually tell me which ones were dead. And you go out and fix the stations. Yeah. And he's like, well, I'm sorry, you want me to go fix them or whatever? He goes, oh, no, we shot around them. You got plenty of shit to shoot. We got our shit shot. And you're just like, if everybody had that attitude, instead of being a complete fucking cunt and bitching about every little thing, and be like, oh, nothing works. Like, well, did you tell me what didn't work? Most of the time it's a one-man operation around here. Sorry I didn't make your experience 100%. But if everybody's had Ed's attitude, always positive, always winning, always going. I never saw him get frustrated. I never saw him talk shit. He was happy to be alive, had gone through so much shit and was just happy to be out there shooting. And it's kind of like, it's like, and I hate to be this way, but if it is that much of a perplex, if it bothers you that much to shoot a bad score or to have a bad day, if your day is ruined because something wasn't right at my club or your club or whatever, get therapy. Because you're out there shooting a shotgun at clay targets and first of all, and apologize my language here, G-Dub, but you're shooting a game, that you have to explain to somebody on an airplane. What do? I shoot sporting clays. What the fuck is that? Well, it's like you mean trap? No, it's sporting clays. And you like that. Dude, it is a fringe hobby. Give it a fucking break. If you don't enjoy it, if you're going to be in a bad mood, either quit, go see therapy, or get a shorter barrel shotgun and do what needs to be done.
Jeez, I've got those guys here at the club, and I love them. I do. I love them. I do anything for them. If they need anything special or any type of accommodation, I'm going to take care of them. And I think most clubs around the country have that type of person.
Yeah,
but
it sucks that they all can't be that way, because the world would be a better place.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably true for all businesses, actually.
Oh, every business. I mean, you're dealing with
just
the public.
limited to the gun clubs, but yeah.
Well, I mean, it's just odd. But like I said, we just named the Wobble Trap after Ed. We're going to have Ed. I mean, Ed was, like I said, Ed got to be a friend. I knew Ed before we started the gun club. Local farmer. He handled my auction was when I quit farming. the dude was solid, and he just loved to shoot, and he was always positive, and he never bitched, and he was always like, I like the challenging targets. He goes, this was really good. These were a little spicier than last time. This was, easier than last time. Thank you for doing this. I mean, write you a check every time. Shit, I don't give a shit about what he spent here. It just was the fact that his attitude was great. And then if you look at whether this means shit or not, if you look at the amount of people that showed up at his funeral, I'm thinking some of these bastards, they're going to have to hire pallbearers. As much as they bitch and shit, they're going to have to put ad on Facebook, wanted people to carry this bastard's coffin because he's a miserable son of a bitch, but whatever, man, you can't fix the fucking world. So
God bless you, Ed. Let's talk about something else.
All right, you're all depressed now. So anyway, we got all this. We done the cheating. We did the NSCA involvement. Let's make it a little. What do you want to bitch about now?
There's a lot more for NSCA, so you're gonna have to do a part 3 and 4.
I guess we'll do a part thing today on the Two Shots podcast.
Dave Nieder reoccurring appearance.
Yeah, Dave Nieder's bitch of the week. You got 5 minutes. What's wrong? I don't like the blacktop at the fucking national headquarters. The water is horrible. The NSCA is ruining me. Anyway, Miriam hates me because the NSCA didn't. The windbreaker sucks. I got her with my points. All right, hey.
I can say it.
You want to do it?
Yes.
All right. G-Dub. Okay, I want to explain the game real quick. All right, here we go. We're going to do a mark here. Ooh, professional here on the camera. This is going to be a little bit fun part of our segment. We're going to call it the 16 gauge. The 16 gauge I stole off of a local radio show here because I thought it was really great. I forget the hell it was. Sweet 16 is the guy off of 97.1 does this. This is where I got this idea.
I just thought we just came up with it one weekend when we were up.
Well, we did that before he did it, and then they started doing something on the show called the Sweet 16 or something like this. So we're just going to call it the 16 gauge. Basically, it's really stupid. It's a bracket game. Anybody knows what brackets are? Just like Sweet 16 basketball and shit like that. A lot of times we've done silly shit like we've done drinks, Dr. Pepper, whiskey, beer, water, whatever, so on. We've done food. We've done movies. We've done 70s actresses or 80s actresses last week and anything like that. So this weekend for the inaugural run of the 16 gauge, we've chosen very random shit of sporting clays. And I mean random. It's not, they're related because of sporting clays, but they all aren't shotguns. They all aren't shells. They're just random shit in sporting clays. So G-Dub is going to read off what we are going to have a fight over. So go to the list, G-Dub.
Okay, so do you want me to just say all of them?
Just go from that side to that side. Just say who it is.
Pila, shooting pouch,
Mueller.
Ranger
Glasses.
chokes. No,
Ranger glasses.
Glasses. Mueller chokes. Krieghoff. NSCA. SCPT. Winchester. Fiocchi. Federal paper. Porta potties. Beretta.
Promatic.
Castellani. Golf carts and pure gold chokes.
So this is just kind of random. We got two people diagnosed with ADHD, and probably my son is not too far off. But anyway, David, do you understand the game? We're going to compete two of these. G-Dub are going to tell you what versus what. You feel free to give your explanation for your vote, which will make it more interesting. But do you understand this, David?
I got it.
All right, let's go. All right, first one up, G-Dub, is what?
Pila versus shooting pouches. Which one do you think will win?
Pila.
Pila? Okay.
Pila,
I say Pila.
yeah.
Pila, all right. Pila wins.
Pila wins.
It always gets better towards the end.
Ranger glasses and Mueller chokes.
I go Ranger.
Mueller.
Ranger.
Oh.
You either tie this or you win it.
Ranger glasses.
Okay, Ranger wins.
Glasses.
Oh, goodness.
We have Ben Shoemaker standing by via text to break the tie.
Right.
Yes.
Then we will get some ties.
Okay.
Krieghoff, NSCA.
Krieghoff.
Krieghoff.
There you go.
I mean, because you can shoot a Krieghoff without the NSCA, but the NSCA ain't no good without Krieghoff. I don't know shit. I don't know. I don't know.
SCPT? Winchester.
Winchester.
Winchester wins.
SCTP.
Oh,
SCTP.
why? Oh, are you trying to get an SCTP team? Is that what you're wanting to go on?
I've got several, man. They're great.
Fiocchi? Federal paper.
Federal paper.
Fiocchi.
Federal paper.
Federal
There you go,
paper.
What's wrong with y'all? What's wrong with y'all?
Federal paper, man.
Man, I've been
Goodness
killing Police with
gracious.
the federal paper.
I shot 7/8 ounce load double A's.
Here, he just wants to feel special.
Hey, if you want consistency, you buy Fiocchi. That's all I'm going to say. Go ahead.
Consistently suck.
Porta potties?
Porta potties.
Beretta.
Porta potties.
Porta potties.
Porta potty.
I hear Harvey and Zach like, you know. Desi, am I currently sponsored by Bretta? Yeah, that's right. Bretta's awesome.
Promatic. Promatic. Castellani's.
Promatic.
Chromatic.
I'll go Promatic.
Dub. What's your vote?
I mean, it's already done.
I don't know, but you got to vote.
Okay, fine. Castellani.
All right, Promatic.
Okay. Golf carts, pure gold. Pure gold. I shoot pure gold.
Pure.
Okay.
G-Dub. Oh, where are you going, David?
Golf carts.
Golf carts.
You want golf carts?
Yeah. All right, go to Ben.
You get them rung up.
I'm going to Ben here.
Ben,
Call
come
them in a
on.
lifeline.
Ben, okay, so where we say pure gold chokes versus golf carts.
While he texts, I have to go. Goodbye.
Where are you going?
Bathroom.
Engineers leaving.
You can pee out the door. Well, no, this will be on camera. No, go.
Yeah.
Turn your back, G-Dub. Turn your back.
And that's when Two Shots podcast ended.
Please tell me, Ben, you don't have to think very long on this one. God dang it. Golf carts.
So, David, you going to put Police in at your club?
Yeah, why don't you put P-Lease in? It's a lot of dead air here.
Man, I mean, that's just. I've got space for it. I don't have many shooters that are going to come here though, for that.
I'd come
It'll
down.
just be me and my kids out there shooting Halise. That's it.
G-Dub and I shoot. That's good enough reason. Don't you love your kids?
When do you come here?
When I come to your place,
Yeah,
I was in Texas twice this year.
you were in a Fossil Point.
He says golf carts. Yeah, but I was close to Fossil Point.
It ain't good enough, my friend.
Golf carts versus pure gold. Golf carts win.
Golf carts win.
Golf
carts win.
Dang.
Damn, upset. Ben's like, there's like a long pause and then like typing and then a long pause and then more typing. I'm like, shit, this fucker's really thinking about it. Go,
Welcome
Dub.
back, Dub.
Welcome back, G-Dub, after the pee break. Now, what do we got? This is the Elite Eight. Elite Eight.
This is going to be a good one.
All right, go ahead, Gary.
Golf carts won.
Yep.
Your
Oh, all right.
I said the same thing, Dub.
Pila versus Ranger glasses.
Pila.
Wow. That was pretty cool how that ended up. Pila.
Pila.
Kayla.
And then what we got?
Krieghoff. Winchester.
There you go.
Shit.
Craig- Krieghoff.
Oh, shit.
Krieghoff.
Winchester.
Okay. I said Winchester.
Krieghoff.
Oh, God dang it.
Man,
Hi.
He's gonna say Winchester.
Oh, yeah. Winchester's going to win this one. I'll piss off two
You need
people.
to text. You
No,
need a less biased tiebreaker.
I know. Who do we think? Winchester versus Krieghoff. Here we go. 446. Ben is thinking. It's typing. Edge of the seats. People are like, oh my God.
well, we're waiting.
God, this is actually not. This is fun. This is always a fun
This is a
game.
good game.
Always. Got to go with the hometown Winchester. Winchester beats Krieghoff.
Ouch.
Oh.
Ouch.
Yay.
That hurts.
You just lost a sponsor.
shit. What could I do? This is like
Federal paper, porta potties.
oh, porta potties.
Porta potties.
Porta potties.
Why? Now porta potties isn't going to win this.
I don't know. I mean, only if you cheat. What'd you pick?
What'd you go with, Doug?
Federal paper.
What'd you pick?
I want federal paper.
Oh, God dang it. Another one. Oh, my God. Porta potties.
He shoots federals, don't you?
I-
So do I.
I'm not
You
picking.
you all y'all just voted for Winchester. Now you're voting for federal. What's the deal?
Hey, I voted for Krieg.
I voted for porta potties. Ben is loving this one. He's just like a what the fuck
being
moment. He's like, what did he just type? Please say porta potties. Please say porta potties. It'd be funnier.
I'll give you that. It would be
Oh, God, come on. Come on in the name of comedy and all it's holy. The ghost of Robin Williams. Come on.
Wow.
He had Louis' body just like Dad.
What
Dad's
the-
not as funny, though.
What do we got on the second one?
You can't look.
No, you can look.
You don't have time. Oh, whatever. Okay.
Here, skip ahead while he's... Oh, kind of think it's hard to pee in a federal paper. I'll go federal paper.
Let's go.
Good Lord. All right.
All right, so what do we got? What's our last one? Golf carts versus...
Promatic.
Golf carts versus Promatic. Promatic?
Golf carts.
Chromatic.
Chromatic.
All right, Promatic wins. All right, so this is the final four.
Semi.
This is the final four, man. What do we got, Doug?
I'm going to go across.
Wait, we got Pila.
Like that.
No, we got Pila and Winchester.
Okay.
Pila versus Winchester.
I'm going Pila.
Winchester.
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 Okay, Winchester.
Winchester wins. Winchester.
One of the finals.
And then we go to Federal Paper versus Promatic.
Federal papers.
Chromatic.
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 Promatic. What are you doing?
Dang it.
What was
I
that
wanted
one?
federal papers to win.
Oh, that would have been gold.
That's really
Hey,
great. Thanks.
Just go in the porta potty, G-Dub.
Thanks, Gino. You don't need good ammo when you got a porta potty. I mean, the reasoning behind that was just brilliant. You know, yeah, I don't need good. Fuck, I don't need any shells. I got a porta potty. Walk out there, go bang bang. All right, I gotta go take a piss. You know.
Winchester versus Promatic.
All right, the
Winchester.
final.
Winchester.
The
Wow,
final.
this is-
Winchester
this is
versus
strong.
Promatic. It's all come down to this last game of the season. Tim can't hold
This is
anything
strong.
back.
Winchester.
I'm going chromatic.
I'm going Chromatic.
Dad, please. Please, Winchester. Winchester.
Winchester.
Let's go.
God, I just picked off Jim Moses. Winchester. Well, actually, you're just putting this off on somebody else. I just don't want to. God, this worked out well. Ben's a little quick on it. He needs to get some.
Oh,
I lost you, David. Were you back? David,
You lost
here,
Bluetooth.
somewhere.
I got you, David. You're back now. All
Yeah, I'm
right.
back.
Winchester versus Promatic. It went down to Winchester. Winchester wins the first.
No, hang on.
What?
Didn't the Romberg say chromatic?
No, yeah, but we went to the tiebreaker, Ben Shoemaker.
Oh, goodness. All right.
So Winchester, no, who wins? Winchester wins the
wins.
first. Winchester wins the first 16 gauge of the Two Shots podcast.
Dad. So I'm going to add.
Congratulations.
So we're going to have a separate piece of paper of all the winners. And when we get the 16 winners, it's like a winner's bracket.
Fucking right. See that, folks?
That guy.
That guy right there got it going on. That's right. Did you
he's
see
smarter
that,
than all of
David?
us.
See,
Yeah,
like I said, you can understand pride when you have a son. You get it.
Hey, I'm having a son.
Hey, everybody! David's having a baby. We can finally act like we didn't tell everybody.
I heard that. Congratulations.
Yeah.
That's
Having a little baby.
awesome.
It's gonna make our life crazy.
It's great. Children are a blessing. That's what we tell ourselves.
Every day you have to. Every day.
Wake
you
up
have to.
every day and like, thank you. Thank you for making my life more complete. I didn't really want that
Hey.
911 Porsche. I just wanted a child.
I'm here to tell you about the time that Schultz said that kids are overrated. That's for another time, though.
Wow.
hilarious.
Now he's going to hear that. He's going to be hurt. You know, I mean, he's very sensitive. You know, they say, you know, losing your depth perception makes you more sensitive. Because he only has one eye. That's why that joke's funny.
Hey, I love that guy. Don't make fun of him. I love that guy.
Oh my God! You're such a
I said
kiss
the L
ass.
word.
You're such a kiss ass. But anyway, all right, David. I think we had a really good hour and 5 minute show. It's live on video. It's getting close to 5 o'clock. Anything you want to add? Anybody want to throw in there? Anybody else we want to insult, incriminate, or pretty much lose their friendship over? Anybody?
There's a lot more to talk about NSCA.
God damn, you just get to be angry, aren't you? You know, I mean, you know, get my manifesto, Miriam. I have to write more. Dear NSCA, you bastards, I did not like your current barbecue, you know, concession.
I think we need to hear more from Romberg.
Romberg.
What do you want to hear about?
I don't know. You got a lot to say, I know.
I just soak it all in. I'm glad I could be here. I mean, I got clubs within 20 minutes, 30 minutes of my house, and I'd rather drive 90 miles to come up here and shoot better targets and just get better, just improve myself.
Well, that just pissed off a lot of people in the St. Louis area. Good job, bud.
Hey, you have another 5 minutes by chance?
David, I'll give you 10 more minutes. You have 10.
Goodness.
You have 15 more minutes, David.
Because there was a request for a topic that I think we need to touch on. We can just touch on it and then talk about it more later.
Well, let's touch upon it, David.
Aaron,
Touch me, David.
Aaron, this is for you. This is for you and Gary.
Wait. The topic came up about me.
This is for you and Gary, and the G-Dub too. What do you think is the future of NSCA?
Yeah, okay.
Wow.
Wow, go ahead, because I've got my opinions.
I never really thought about it. It's an organization. I think it's got some stuff that needs to be fixed on it. I just choose to shoot other events outside of NSCA and move on from there.
All right.
G-Dub, do you think kids are going to be interested in shooting?
New generations, no.
Why not?
You're right there smoking. How many packs?
What you smoking, honey?
I don't know. Like the generations are going to keep getting worse and worse and worse. The generations are going to keep getting worse and worse and worse.
Worse how?
Like, not any skills are softer, kind of.
They just don't want to. They just don't want to do shit like this. They want to get their trophies. What you're saying?
Yeah, like they don't want to actually work for anything. They just want to have it given to them.
Wow, that's pretty solid. I don't know.
Who's the market that NSCA needs to be advertising to or trying to get involved?
Has anybody done like analytics or whatever on it on the youth ratio coming into the NSCA versus adults that are getting out of it or not going to any more shoots?
Wow, that's the tough part of it is NSCA did the what was that, David? With the SCTP, if they were shooting at SCTP events, they got a free membership, right?
Yeah, they do like a crossover program.
It's called crossover program, and the problem is it gives false numbers because what was the retention? The retention was shit. As far as when they had to pay for the membership, did they come back? They don't.
That's been a problem. You know, I've been saying for a while now that just from my observation here at the club, you know, is that the future of NSCA and what NSCA needs to be focusing on is the middle-aged professional with disposable income.
Disposable income.
Yeah.
When you say that, I've said that on the line.
Yeah.
And they get mad at you. Well, you're just wanting the guys with money.
Well,
Fuck,
no.
I mean,
It's it's important to get little Johnny and little Susie involved in shooting.
To a point.
You know, that's important, but I think that more is about showing them that guns aren't scary, guns are safe, guns are fun, it's a sport. But you're not going to see them at your club once they get done with their SETP, once they get done with their high school shooting, once they get done with 4-H. You're not going to see them at your club for a while. It's the middle-aged professional with disposable income who has some money to spend that's going to buy the Krieghoff, that's going to buy the Blaser, that's going to buy the Mueller chokes, that's going to buy the Briley accessories. You see how I put on all those sponsors? That's going to spend the money and be the one to grow the sport. We need to focus on the youth and get them involved, but that's more just to preserve our Second Amendment right and to preserve, our gun freedoms, but they're not the ones who are going to spend the money at the clubs.
That's right. I mean, that is the right thing to say. I mean, and it's a hard pill. You seem like you're an asshole when you say that, but everybody's so all or nothing on this stuff. It's like, when you say we need to focus on this and maybe not as much as the SCTP, well, why don't you give a shit about youth? And it's guys who are not, it's not knocking anybody, but it's just saying a truth here at this point. People go by emotion, and it's people with no data that are new to the game or haven't looked into this as far as like a lot of people with a lot bigger brains than us. You come up with these conclusions. No, we're not saying forget about the kids. It's just maybe we don't need to be putting as much emphasis on these kids who we do not retain, that are not interested once grandma and grandpa and mom and dad stop paying for it. Those guys are not, they are important, but it's like when you say maybe we should emphasize, like you said, on the guys with disposable income, everybody's so all or nothing. Well, you mean fuck the kids? No, we don't mean forget the kids. We mean we need to, there's finite a limit of resources to recruit people into the game. If we're not spending those resources in the right areas, we're just jacking off. It's just wasted.
If you're looking for the person who you're gonna retain as a shooter, who's gonna spend money within the industry, ammo, guns, accessories, and all that, that's the person who has the money to spend. And little Johnny only has the money to spend as long as dad's paying for it, or mom's paying for it, or grandpa's, helping out and participating. But that's not where I think the growth of our sport lies.
I don't think it does either, because, okay, and I'm going to go ahead and make a statement, and it's going to piss off everybody because they're going to hang on the first part of my statement, and then they're not going to listen to the rest of it because it's like I said, it's not anti-kids. It's just not the rosy picture everybody points. Every time, let's go back to this is a business. I feel that shell prices, target prices, and everything we do has been artificially kept affordable. Artificial. It does not keep up with the current inflation rates over the last 30 years. We started shooting in 1991, 1992. It was $20 a round. We're now getting $30 and $35 around here. If you were to keep up with inflation, we should probably be around 50 or 60. And a second you say, well, shit, well, my God, you're wanting $40. You guys are making all the money. And then, $5 a box for Winchesters has been the normal forever. Like back in the early 90s, it was $4 and $5, $4.50 a box for Winchester. The shit has to get higher. That's inflation. I don't know too much about the manufacturing, but I don't think they were able to they're still using the same presses, I guess, for the most part.
It's all the same materials. There's been no innovation with shot shells. It's the same stuff you were getting 30 years ago, 40 years ago. So you're right.
If the market,
the only increase would be inflation or product material increase.
Well, and like I said, we'll go all the way through this. There's a lengthy point I'm trying to make, but it needs to be all be said. it is a business. If the businesses can't make money doing what they're going to do, they will quit doing what they're doing. You know, they'll go to corporate shoots and say it's $50 a round for these corporate shoots. Screw the rest of the stuff. And I am sorry that your SCTP team or whatever it is underfunded and you don't have the money or the resources to get these kids to shoot 200 cases a year or whatever they want. I am sorry. It kind of goes back to bitching about hard targets. You know, you want a discount on targets so your kids can prep for, and just as my club goes, I have no problem giving your kids cheap targets if you show up to help me with a shoot. But if you just want me to subsidize your team, just because he's a shooter, hey, look at this little bastard right here. This is my kid. All right. I'm paying for his shooting. All right. I'm not asking you guys to pay for his shooting. All right. That's just how it is because that's my kid and that's my kid's hobby, and that's just kind of where we're at on this one is, it's a shared responsibility with the club. And I'm turning a little David Niederer here and shit like that. Getting on a soapbox like this, it is a shared responsibility. If you want something from the club, you probably should give something to the club too. If your club and you got a box bird shoot or something like that coming up, I get that. And the guy asked for volunteers. Hey, can I have some kids? And we don't even. With FLC, I don't want their free help. I'm going to pay him $11 an hour. Show up and help us, and I'll go sell you 25-cent targets. I mean, am I wrong on that one, David? Give a little, get a little?
Yeah, for sure. That's one of the things that we kind of expect from our teams. Like we discount their targets, but you're going to pick up the skeet field when you're done. You're going to pick up your holes and kind of make it look pretty, and that's kind of the mutual agreement that we have with our teams.
Teaches the kids about the sport and being responsible, and gives them a little pride in their shooting too. I mean, I totally agree with that.
For sure.
It's just kind of like, and I don't mean to be this, and I understand that just because you want to shoot, maybe you can't afford it. If you work with a club, they'll help you out. But and I'll go ahead and I'll piss off a lot of people here. Fucking, I don't care. If this attitude of the GoFundMe generation of GoFundMe, give me money to go to this tournament and shit like that, every club, and your club is no different than mine and everyone, we're always short on labor. Now, if you got 16, 20 pimple-faced kids out there shooting 16-yard trap, and you want to take care of them, well, then they probably ought to be down there at the local club saying, all right, you need some grass mowed, you need this mowed, you need some weedy, and, help out. I mean, I'm going to pay them. I don't want indentured servitude, but if you're willing to help me out, then I'll give you a discount on targets, and I'll pay your kids. But that's like, it's like, oh my God, well, he can't shoot this week because they got to, well, why, the youth. I'm sorry, man. Give a little, get a little. Yeah. So that's my fucking David Niederer rant to the day.
That was okay. That's pretty good.
I mean, I'm not as angry as you. I mean,
No.
But
just talk louder. You just talk louder. You sound more angry.
But it's true though. I mean, and you've gone through it. We've all gone through it. It's like I can use the help. I can always use the help here. You guys want to run Halise for us? Then come over. $11 an hour plus tips, and then I'll give you a discount on targets. I'll give you more than I got the other kids that show up for work. Because I want to help you shoot, but then I don't want to give it to you. I don't.
A lot of the gun club owners that I've met and got to know and spoken to, they're generous people because they do love the sport, and that's why they own a gun range, and that's why they throw NSCA, because they love the sport. And when they see a team or a kid or someone with the same passion that they have, they like that, and they want to help them out and foster that. And so they do become more generous, to give them discounts and whatever else. And so I think that's great, but it needs to be a mutually beneficial. It
has to be a mutual, and we've got this, like I said, this GoFundMe entitlement bullshit. Hey, little, Jaden or Caden or whatever the hell his name is, he's going to wherever. Let's do a GoFundMe thing. All right. Well, where does little Jaden shoot? Well, he shoots at Possum Dick Acres here. Well, what does he do there? Well, they shoot there on Wednesdays. All right. What does he do there? Well, he shoots there on Wednesdays. Does he help mow the grass? Does he load traps? Does he pick up holes? Does he do shit like that? Well, no. He's an STTP or what AAM, whatever the shit it is. I mean, and I think there are clubs that do this. I'm not generalizing, but like I said, what my experience was, I can use the help. Ask instead of asking for a straight up discount as like, do you need any help with your club? Yeah. We just put a trap field in, and we just finished trap field for the kids, and I mean, it's just like, I would gladly give these kids 25-cent targets on a target card and let them shoot all they want. Probably give them free targets. But you can't ever get a lot of these guys to show up to help. Hey, would you like to help? We need runners. Well, I don't know if I can do that or not. We're a little busy this weekend, and then like nobody shows up. Quit with fucking handout, man. Help. I mean, if you want us to help support the future of shooting, then help the fucking clubs that you ain't going to shoot without the clubs too. I've heard this shit. Well, you're not going to have any shooters if you don't do the youth. You ain't going to have a place to shoot if you don't support the clubs. The clubs need help too. So whatever, man. That's my David Nieder bitch of the week.
Goodness, you need to start your own manifesto.
No, I don't. I'm not as angry as you, David. I don't live in Decatur, Texas. I'm okay. I have trees. It's nice out here. Anyway, what do you want to do? You want to wrap this shit up? I think we're good. I think we got all the anger we can. Are you over your nervousness of the first podcast?
Yeah, this was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be.
Oh, it's really easy. That's why
I've been drinking some TX bourbon whiskey.
You do love that TX bourbon.
I do.
It's kind of your jam, ain't it? You always bring that. I mean, I always clean my chokes with it. So.
Say it a few more times. They may be a corporate sponsor.
No, actually, I got to promote the Devil Dave's Bloody Mary Mix, John Abbott Hog Holsters, Cyrus Alexander at Shotgun Gear Rentals, and we have to talk about once again Brandon Leifer servicing many clients.
Weren't you supposed to mention Ashley Alexander?
Well, actually, she's the more famous of the two. People know. Well, that's Ashley's husband, Cyrus.
But if you say Cyrus, no one's going to know who that is.
No one knows who Cyrus. Actually, at Thanksgiving anymore, they refer to him as Ashley's husband. His own family does. Little known fact about the Alexander.
People come to the club asking for Miriam. I'm just Miriam's husband. I just work here.
Well, why wouldn't you? Have you ever seen your wife? Yeah, Miriam and the troll she's married to. So
get off my bridge.
Get off my bridge.
I knocked her up, man.
Well, like I said, I remember when you got arrested for having roofies on you. So here we are. But anyway, all right. On that note, happy Christmas, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Blessed Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah. Any other holidays?
Shouldn't we be talking about Easter?
Easter? That's in May or April.
Yeah, April.
It's April.
That's like talking about Christmas and on Halloween.
Yeah, true.
There's far away.
It's Nightmare Before Christmas.
Works in an order here, okay?
Have you ever been to Home Depot on Halloween? They've got Halloween decorations and Christmas trees. It's the weirdest freaking thing. I hate it.
I've seen that.
You hate the fact of Christmas? Why do you hate Christmas, David? All right, cutting off everybody. David Nieder hates Christmas. Catch you on the next Two Shots podcast.